Today we're going to take a look at using a list control to, or the contents of a list control to dial the phone, or also we've got a spin list control here, and you can pick a particular person and it's going to go ahead and dial that number. So let's take a look at how that's actually going to work. So what I'm going to do is in my builder here, I'm going to go ahead and we'll just do a remote test. We get a QR code here, and what I've done is I'm using AirPlay set up on my iPhone. So we'll go ahead and I'm going to launch Alpha Web, but it could be any scanning app. Go ahead and in this case, let's scan that QR code in for our component, and let's say we're done with that. Let's go ahead and launch it. So here's our control, and so we've got our list control here, and when I tap on a row, it's going to go ahead and say, okay, you want to call that phone number. So you can see all that working. And also in the spin list control, you can just pick, a particular person, and it will. You could initiate that phone call. So we're picking, whoever, initiating call, and you'll see as I do it. So the number changes based on, whoever I'm trying to call. So let's take a look at how we actually implemented that. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that out. Take a look at this design. So we've got a panel card here and just some static text, and then here's our list control. And the list properties is set up for, in this case, static data. The data could have easily come from any kind of backend, any kind of database you want. We've got a name and a phone property, so name and phone number. And then what we've got is we're returning the field, the phone field, so that's the data that's coming back. If we take a look at list events, I've got a on-click event, and then this is the JavaScript that we run. So we run a little test here. We look at the A5 object. We look at the flags, and does this support touch, yes or no? So if it doesn't, we just get an alert that comes up and says, sorry, we're not running on a mobile device. But other than that, we use window.location equals, and then we use the tel prefix, so tel colon, and then just the value. So we're pulling the value of the phone number, and that's how that works. Okay, so that's that. And then the spin list control is actually very similar. Again, we've populated in this case with static data. We've got a name and a phone number here, and we're going to go ahead and if we look at on select, what we're doing here is setting the value that's returned to us to a global JavaScript variable, and rather than pollute the global namespace, we're attaching that variable of underbar phone number to the dialog object. That's just best practices. If you want to define a global, that's a good way to do it. And what that means is now I can reference that phone number that was selected in any control I want, or anywhere. So on the click event of the button we have, you'll see JavaScript that looks very, very similar to what we had in the list control above. So we just go ahead and we look at the A5 object flags. Does this thing support touch? If so, set window.location to, and then with the tel colon prefix, and then in this case we drop in our variable, which is the part of the dialog object, and dot underbar phone number. Otherwise, we display an alert. Now, what'll happen is on a tablet or something like that, or any mobile device that doesn't have a phone, it will say, "Do you want to add that to your contacts?" And you could choose to do it, and it would automatically enter that phone number into your contacts. So those are just some little tricks, some cool little things you might want to know about how to work with phone numbers in your mobile application.